This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
Well, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin here with Chris and OG Tony. And all I got to say is down goes SEC. Down goes SEC. Man, what a time to be alive. And I'm an SEC. I'm now an SEC guy. Another Texas is over there. But wow. Freaking wow. Tony, how you doing?
Doing well, doing good, man. It was a good game last night. I will say that.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Guys, your thoughts real quick on that last play of the game. Was that pass interference?
It was so close, man. I mean, I personally wouldn't call it. I think they were going for the ball, and I think if they would have called that, in my opinion, that would have been a little ticky tack. I wouldn't have called that.
Yeah, it wasn't close. That was definitely pass interference.
It was pass.
He had a hold of his shoulder pads and jerked them.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different play. That's not the play I was thinking of.
It was definitely, and my people. The problem I have, people say, "Well, it's a Hail Mary." I don't consider that a Hail Mary, in my opinion. I guess it is a Hail Mary technically, but in my opinion, it's when you're throwing it 50 or 60 yards downfield. You're at the 30-yard line. You're trying to throw a touchdown pass, and he had a hold of that guy. And people said it wasn't catchable. Bullshit. If he don't grab the hold of that guy,
he got a handle.
I know which one you're talking about. I'm sorry. The one I was thinking of was actually in the end zone, and the one you're referring to was after Carson Beck scored, and they were trying within a few seconds to get back to the other end zone.
Very last play of the game in the end zone. Very last play of the game.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was pass interference. I did, a lot of times they don't call that at the end of the game. But I thought that was pretty egregious. I thought it was pass interference, and I thought it should have been called. What do you think, Chris? You think it should have been called?
Yeah, and the reason I think it should have been called is they were calling a lot less than that the whole game. You should, once you establish how you're going to call a game, you call it that way the whole game. I don't care if
consistency. Yeah,
you hear a lot of people say, "Well, you can't call that there because there's no time on the clock. You don't call it there; they'd be deciding the game."
I must have missed that play though.
If it's a penalty in the first minute of the game, it's a penalty in the last minute of the game. And the thing is,
look it up.
And I'm not going to say that cost Ole Miss the game because it wouldn't have gave him a touchdown. It would have gave him one more play, but that play would have been from the 15 instead of the 30.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out where you guys are at. Because when I was watching the last play I had seen, or I saw Carson Beck walk into the end zone on that left-hand side. And then I know they threw the ball down right. He caught the first ball, I think around the 50, and I think they gave him like a first down, obviously. Y'all must be talking about that must have been the play after that, I'm assuming.
Two plays
about two plays. Yeah.
Or two plays after that.
Another pass, and they got to the 30, and then there was 5-6 seconds left, and they threw one to the end zone.
Okay, that's why I missed it. Yeah, because that was – man, once Carson Beck did it, and I thought him get the ball at the 50, and there was like a couple of seconds that I guess I flipped off the TV and said, this fucking game's over. I guess that's the play I missed. So you're saying he grabbed him and pulled him down, huh?
Yeah, well, that's my problem, because if a Hail Mary and there's like 6 or 7 guys jumping up for the ball, they usually don't call pass interference. This was basically a one-on-one coverage, one-on-one, and he definitely had a hold of that receiver, and the receiver barely could get one hand up, and it definitely impeded his chance to catch that ball. I think you got to call it. That would
have at least given him one more. That would give him one more opportunity, because you're right, because they can't end on a defensive pass interference.
It would have moved the ball up 15 yards, so it'd been one play from the 15-yard line to try to get a touchdown instead of from the 30.
Yep. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing in the game. It don't make no difference to me who won the game. So it ain't like one of those teams with my team, and I'm bitching. I just felt like that was pass interference. That's just my opinion.
I thought it was pass interference too, but
well, if he has this jersey and pulling them down, that's definitely pass interference. And I guess my thing is I guess I can see what you're saying, because it gives them another play to have another opportunity to tie it up and possibly. But at the end of the day, man, hey, you can't take nothing away from Miami, man. That because my theory is that game was over when they let Carson Beck go to the left, and there wasn't nobody on that side of the field to even stop him.
Yeah, do you know why there wasn't nobody on that side of the field?
Oh, please.
Offensive lineman grabbed a hold of the defensive lineman and pulled the one guy down to the ground.
Damn, I must have missed that one too.
They got away with a hold on that play. But guess what? There's holds that people get away with every play. But there was a big hold on that play. It was great play design though, because everything was going one way. And
right.
It opened that, but there was a hold on that lineman. But no, Miami played a good game. Miami almost messed around and lost that game because of some stupid mistakes that let Ole Miss stay in that game. Because I mean, if you watch that game, Miami dominated most of that game until the fourth.
No, they did.
Fourth quarter started going back and forth, but before that, Miami was quote unquote dominating it. But they were down by a point going in the fourth quarter because of giving up some big plays to Ole Miss.
I did not realize that the guy that plays number 10, I don't remember his name right offhand, but the guy that plays number 10 from Miami, I didn't realize he was related to Antonio Brown. I think it's his son, right? Isn't it Antonio Brown's son, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not sure.
I think because somebody was telling me, I think he's related to Antonio Brown, number 10 from Miami is. But anyway, I'll do more research on that. But no, I tell you what, I thought it was a good game. I felt like in that game though, there was times when I felt like Miami and their penalties let Ole Miss extend some of those drives. And I think if Miami, when they get into the national championship, whether it be Oregon or Indiana, they're going to have to clean that up because I don't think they're going to get away with that against Indiana. For sure, they won't get away with that against Indiana.
Neither defense played great. Miami did pretty good at bending and not breaking. They held Mississippi to a lot of field goals, especially early in the game. And then finally late, Mississippi got that touchdown they needed to get the lead. But you look at yardage, Miami had 459 total yards of offense, 268 passing, 191 rushing. And Mississippi, 398 total, 277 passing, 121 yards rushing. Mississippi averaged 6.6 yards per play. Miami averaged 5.2. A lot of penalties by Miami, 10 penalties for 74 yards. And they also had a turnover. Mississippi didn't have a turnover. And Mississippi also only surprising, even with that pass rush, that quarterback was pretty good at staying away from he had pressure, but they only got one sack on the Mississippi quarterback. And Mississippi got to Miami's quarterback 4 times.
Yes.
So it was a really good, and the big thing, like I said, Miami had the ball 41 minutes of that game. Mississippi only had the ball 18 minutes of that game. So, a little over 18 minutes. So that's a crazy stat, especially when you put up 27 points and only had the ball 18 minutes. But a good game. I'm not taking anything away from the coach from Mississippi said that not call did not cost them the game. We had the lead. We needed to step up defensively, and we didn't. So, I mean, he didn't, he was pretty good sport about everything. And it was a very, very good game. It was very enjoyable to watch.
Hey, real quick, I just want to tell Joe real quick. Joe was asking, we're not on every day. No, Joe, we're the afternoon show is Monday and Fridays now. Mondays and Fridays, same time as always, but we're just doing Mondays and Fridays. And then the rest of the shows that we do are in the evening times. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
You got any more thoughts on the game, Chris?
No, it was a good game. It was probably one of the best games I've seen Carson Beck play. But I don't see Miami beating either one of the teams that are playing tonight.
Could be interesting. Jay,
one of the things I took one thing I took away from that was I feel like you're right, Tony. The run game for both sides was really good, and I don't think either one of those teams really defended the run particularly well. I thought they did a good job with the pass, but the run game on both sides, Lacey ripped off that 73-yard touchdown run, and I really think he would have been more effective had he not had those that hamstring issue that he was dealing with. It was really putting him in the hurts. I would have liked to have seen what Lacey could have done had he been more, had his body allowed him to be more effective after that run. Obviously, Miami ran the hell out of that ball on Ole Miss as well. So I think my thing is, hey, I thought Ole Miss did a great job. Hey, I tip my hat to you guys. That was a heartbreak, with all the things that you guys have had to go through with the transport portal, being where it was located and things of that nature. But I think you guys did a hell of a good job, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do next year, to be honest with you. And secondly, to Miami, hey, when you guys go to that next championship round, you're going to have to work on that run D, man. That run D is not, and that penalties, you'll get to clean that up, or I think it's going to be a long day against either Indiana or Oregon, whoever comes out favorably.
Yeah, I agree, guys. Hey, let's jump into some NFL playoffs. Let's go with the first game that's going to be played Saturday. The LA Rams.
Are we going to talk about the other college game after the NFL?
No, you're right. Let's preview that game. I'm sorry, I skipped ahead, guys. Let's talk about the game tonight. My fault. Oregon playing IU tonight. Game scheduled at 7:30. Probably won't start till about 7:45 or 7.
I was going to say last night it started pretty close to right at 7:30. It went too far after 7:30.
I didn't think it kicked off to about 7:45 because when I turned it on, they had that national anthem and
I guess you're right with the anthem.
Yeah, because it started last night's game for me started at 6:30, but then by the time they get the anthem and all that done, it was around 7-ish. Yeah.
So
but that's, of course, that's Central Time, but yeah.
Should be a good game tonight. Of course, me and Chris are both big IU fans. Looking forward to this game. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I'm worried. Not that I don't have faith in IU. What worries me is playing a team twice and beating them twice so far in the playoffs. It ain't worked out too good for teams. Georgia played Mississippi once, beat them, played them in the playoffs, lost. Oklahoma beat Alabama earlier in the year, and Alabama come back and beat them in the playoffs. So that does concern me. But I have faith in IU. I think they're going to be ready. I think the coach is going to have them ready. I think Oregon's a very good team. I think it's going to be not an easy game. But I think we've got a good shot of winning this. And I think as long as we don't turn the ball over a lot, play our game, I think we're in good shape. Because I do think we are a better team in Oregon. But the better team don't always win. So we'll see. So I'm looking forward to it. Chris, what are you thinking about tonight's game?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think IU is going to win this game by at least 10 points. I think it's going to be a lot like the first game. First game was 30-20. Also in the first game, Oregon's offense only scored 13 points. I think a lot of people forget that. The other 7 points they got was off a rare mistake by Mendoza on a pick six. IU was up in that. Everybody wants to talk about how close that game was and how IU barely won it, but IU was up 20-13 going into the fourth quarter. Threw the pick six to tie the game up and then scored 10 unanswered points. So I mean, IU without that pick six pretty much dominant. I mean, controlled that whole game. I ain't gonna say dominant, but controlled the whole game. Hell, Oregon was only able to rush for a total of about 80 yards in that game. Our rush defense is ranked second in the country, only giving up about 70 yards a game rushing. Another thing I think is big for IU, we only commit about 3 penalties a game. We're one of the most least penalized teams there is. The way we've been playing all year, we really ain't had a game where we ain't showed up ready. I think we'll be ready tonight, and I think IU wins by at least 10 points. I really do, and that's not just me saying that because I'm an IU fan. That's just me from watching the games. Mendoza's been playing well. Our defense is playing real well. I think Oregon's going to have trouble running the ball on us. I think we'll be able to slow their run game down. And last time we was able to sack more, like 6 times in that game. Our defensive line was able to get pressure. I know Oregon's not the same team as they was that game, but IU isn't the same team they were that game either. I think IU's a better team now than they were when they met. So it's going to be. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully IU comes out. And I think I'm hoping they jump right on them from the get go and just have a nice night of watching some Hoosier football, and then get ready for next Monday.
Yeah,
Chris,
I agree
next time you say Hoosiers, I need to hear it in full effect. Could you please try that one more time with the Hoosier chant at the end of it, please? Just one time.
Ain't time for a
No.
Hoosier chant yet.
Oh, it's not time. Okay. Oh, you must be in the Jason method where we don't talk about wins or anything because we're superstitious. I got you. I totally get it. You know what? I'll do it for you. Hoosiers! I'll do it for you.
One thing real quick before Jay goes, I just want to comment on Oregon. They've looked pretty good, but I'm just my honest opinion. The first game JMU was not in the class of Oregon, so I mean Oregon dominated them and they should have. The other game they played against Texas Tech. Texas Tech's a pretty good football team, but I said it many times. They remind me of IU last year. Texas Tech's got another step to take, and they'll probably take it this year. And I'd say look out for them next year. But I don't think Texas Tech overall was near as good as Oregon. That's just my opinion. Good football team, and they took a big leap this year. But I think they've got another leap to take, and I do think they'll take it because they're going to spend the money. I think they're got a pretty good coach. I think Texas Tech's going to be a team to deal with for years to come. But I just think Oregon was a better football team, and it kind of showed.
I got a quick question, real quick. Yeah. You guys think that Alabama and Texas Tech should not be allowed in the college football playoffs anymore? Because everybody said that JMU and Tulane shouldn't be in the college football playoffs anymore because they got blown out and couldn't compete. Well, Alabama or Texas Tech both got dominated, didn't look like they belonged. Should they be allowed in the playoffs anymore?
I see your point.
I mean, that's a selective angle. I mean, that's a
Chris,
selective angle.
No, I agree that I agree
you're
that
coming from.
I agree that the way the bracket was put up, they should you shouldn't have 2 group of 5 teams in there. I agree with that. But this thing is that they got blown out. That proves that they don't belong. No, it don't, because good teams get blown out sometimes. Just them getting blown out don't prove that they don't belong, because then what I'm saying is, you tell me Alabama shouldn't ever be in the college football playoffs again because they only scored 3 points in a game? JMU scored more than that.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And by the way, I'm not saying that was your angle of approach.
Your one argument can't be, look, they got blown out. That's why they don't belong, because, hey, we saw Oregon get blown out by Ohio State last year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
Was one of them that got just killed by Ohio State last year.
I think it was Tennessee, I think. Okay, Jay, what's your take on tonight's game?
Yeah, it's gonna. I think you guys will get the win. Only because the one thing I know about Oregon is it seems like when they get to the playoff times, they usually kind of poop the bed. They'll do great in the regular season, but it seems like when they get to those crucial games, they just don't quite get over the hump. Kind of like the Buffalo Bills in some situations. So I do think Indiana gets the win, and I think what Indiana is going to have to do tonight is they're going to have to pressure Dante Moore like they've been doing in the past, because they have a timing-based offense, and if you can disrupt that timing, then that's going to put a hitch in that offense, and that's going to hurt them. I also think that Indiana is going to have to play defensive discipline, maintaining strong tackling and gap control, like they didn't really do a good job. Or I'm thinking of Ole Miss when I say gap control. I apologize. I don't know why I wrote that on there, but they're going to have to play strong defense, and they're going to have to run the ball effectively to control the clock. I think that's the big thing, is controlling the clock and keeping Oregon's offense off the field. Offensively for Oregon, I think Oregon's got to protect Dante Moore because they are in a timing-based offense, so they're going to have to provide better pass protection. Also, I think they're going to have to do better job at early down efficiency and get ahead of the chains and try to avoid those 3rd and longs, which we know Indiana's defense thrives and having the opponent in 3rd and long situations. So they're going to have to avoid that. And then lastly, what I think they have to do is they have to establish the run against them. And if they can do those things, then they have a good shot at it. But I think this is going to come down to Indiana's defense versus that Oregon O-line at the end of the day. And I'm curious to see how that all fans out. But if I was to put money on this game, I don't know much about the spread, but if I was going to do it straight up, I would say Indiana's going to come out of this. And if I got to be honest with you guys, I think this is just Indiana's year. I don't know that Miami is going to have enough if Indiana makes it there to take them out defensively. So right now I see IU taking it all.
I hope you're right.
What do we always say wins championships?
Defense.
Who has the best defense left out of these three teams?
Oh, I think IU.
In my opinion, IU.
I think IU. I think Miami's got a
IU.
pretty
I
good
think
defense.
Miami's
think
probably
IU.
second. The only reason I'm not saying
I think IU has the best complete defense, and IU's defense has only gave up more than 15 points. IU's defense only gave up more than 15 points in one game this year, and that was against Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think Miami's defense.
I think a bit.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's not that I don't think Miami, because Miami's a very physical team, but I think sometimes that physicality lends them to penalties. So the only thing I worry about with Miami is, can they limit those penalties? Because that was one of the biggest things that allowed Ole Miss to hang around, and they can't do that against Indiana, because Indiana not only will hang around, but they'll probably mollywop them if they allow them to do that. So that's one of the biggest. That's the only thing about Miami.
Same thing with Oregon. If they play at Oregon, if they give Oregon extra plays, extra yardage, Oregon will take advantage of it too. I think a big thing, like you said, I think the big key for Oregon is to run the football, and the other thing is their defense to get Indiana in 3rd and longs, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. Because Indiana's really good at running the football and having the ball 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 3, and they usually convert those. So I think the defense has to keep them in a little bit of trouble, and then they've got to run the football, control the clock some. I think that's Oregon's best chance to beat IU.
And they gotta make Mendoza uncomfortable. They cannot let him be happy and on the sidelines. They gotta put pressure on him and get him uncomfortable, I feel like.
Yep, I agree, and it's happened before. I've seen Iowa do it. I've seen a couple teams do it,
right.
but it seems like he's found a way to still win those games. But should be interesting, guys. Let's move on to the NFL. Saturday's game. The first one is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. The Rams at Carolina. Chris, what do you think Carolina has to do to win this game, and do you think they can get it done against the Rams?
They got to run the hell out of the football and keep the Rams offense on the side. Keep Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams on the sideline if they want to have a chance. I know they beat the Rams once in the regular season. I know this game's in Carolina, but I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off this time in the playoffs. I think the Rams are going to come out ready. So I'm going with the Rams in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. If I remember right, I think that game when Carolina beat them was like 17-7. I mean, they held the Rams down. If I remember right, wasn't that the game? Wasn't that one of the few games where Stafford didn't he throw like 3 or 4 interceptions in the first half or something? That may have been the game.
I know there was one game where he done. I was thinking it was that Carolina game. I'd have to go back and look to make sure. But
yeah, I think Carolina's got a shot, guys. I think they got a good shot if they can run the football, being at home. But of course, I'm going to go with the Rams. This is a big game for them. They feel like they have a Super Bowl team. I think this would be a big letdown for them and the franchise if they lose this game. Even though that they're 5 seed and the Rams is a 4 seed, we know how that went. You know, that's just the way the division winners get it.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
The Rams have a much better record than Carolina, but that's just the way that things work out. So I'm going with the Rams, and I'm going to go with the Rams by at least a touchdown.
See, I think the Rams win this game, but I like Carolina on the spread at 10.5. That's a lot. That's a lot of points.
I agree.
10.5 is a lot of points.
Jay,
I agree. That when the Carolina beat the Rams, they actually had Stafford. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks, but he did throw for 2, and he threw for 243. And they ran the ball for 152. And I think Corum had the big day at 7 carries, 81, and then Kyron Williams had 13 at 72. So I think for this game here, And when they go up against them again, obviously playoff football is playoff football. So it's going to be amplified even 10 times more. Stafford, all of them will be amplified 10 times more. And they do have Super Bowl pedigrees, obviously, on that team. So I think Carolina has to go in there almost like the replacements. Go in there like you have nothing to lose. Go in there and just play, fun football. Just go out there and have fun and fly around. And don't worry about making mistakes or anything like that. Just play loose. And play strong. And I think, if they can go out there and play strong defense, and if they can put Matthew Stafford in uncomfortable situations, and if they can contain the run, they're not going to be able to stop it, but if they can contain the run for the most part, and then obviously, hey, Dowdle, make sure you have the right cleats on. Make sure those spikes are super long. I don't want to see you slipping and sliding, because the run game is going to be paramount for Carolina to have a chance in hell at beating the Rams on this third. I think this is their second or third time they played each other. I'm gonna say it's their third time, right?
Second.
Okay, so they'll play one time in the regular season then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, strong run game, strong defense from Carolina. Limit. I wouldn't put too much on. Don't try to have Bryce Young try to be your savior. Play within the system. McMillan, go out there and do what you've been doing all season long, man. Catch that ball, run that ball, strong defense, and keep the Rams offense on the sideline as much as possible. And I think that's going to be their key.
Well, and that's kind of what I was wrong. The score wasn't 17-7 last time. It was 31-28. Carolina had 358 yards of total offense, 194 yards passing, but they did have 164 yards rushing. So that's what they're going to have. The other thing was that they had the ball 35 minutes of that game, so you control the clock, and they had no turnovers. That's another big key. Where the Rams had 3 turnovers, so that's what going to be the blueprint. They're going to have to hold on to the ball, run the football, and they can't make any mistakes. I mean, Bryce Young had 3 touchdowns, no turnovers that last game. He's going to have to play a clean game if they want to have a chance against the Rams. And it's still they got the job done, but it's 31-28. So I'm going with the Rams. So let's move on to the next one, guys. Saturday night, 8 p.m. Green Bay at Chicago. I don't know, guys. Green Bay usually has Chicago's number in the past, but I think I'm going Chicago. Chicago by field goal. Chris, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going with the Packers. I know the Bears beat the Packers one of those games this year, but the Bears have not led against the Packers 1 second in any game this year. The only time they took the lead was at the end with no time on the clock to win that last game. Other than that, they haven't had the lead throughout both games with the Packers. I think Jordan Love's healthy now. So, yeah, I think that Packers defense is going to be big. I just think the Bears rely too much on their defense getting turnovers instead of just being able to come up with a stop. So I think it's going to be a real good game. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I like Green Bay.
Okay. And Jay, what about you?
Yeah, if this is Malik Willis in there, I would probably give the edge to Chicago, because they also don't have Micah Parsons on that team. This game is in Chicago, which is a good thing. The only downside to Caleb, and Caleb has actually gotten a lot better than he was at the beginning of this season, where those first 15, 16 plays, they're relatively scripted, and he didn't have to, he was able to run through. I think once he got past that 16th play, then he kind of ran into a little bit of an issue with audibles and things like that. So, but he's gotten a hell of a lot better at the end of the season than he was at the beginning. I think that's just the development that they put him through. But I'm going to go with Chicago on this too, honestly, because I like the run game. I like between Benangai and Swift. I like that run game. Nothing against Josh Jacobs, but I like the run game. And I think of Dunze and Colston Loveland. I mean, that Colston Loveland, he's going to have a big game. He's a big target. He's a big red zone target. And I'm gonna roll with that. And I know Jordan Love just got back from the concussion protocol. But I think the fact that Micah Parsons isn't there is the biggest thing for me, in terms of him being able to fly around and put pressure on Caleb, because Caleb works really well. Obviously, any quarterback works really well when not under pressure, but really more so for Caleb, he works better when he's not under pressure. So for that reason, I am going to go with Chicago as well.
Okay. Next game up, guys. Sunday, the first game of that day, 1 p.m. Kickoff time. Buffalo at Jacksonville. Jay, what are you thinking about this one?
I'm thinking Duval's going to come to the party. And I think Sean McDermott's going to find himself. Josh Allen's a hell of a quarterback, man. The guy they just don't have a D, man. That defense for Buffalo still makes me a little queasy and getting behind them. I think they're a great offensive-led team, but that defensive side of the ball still just makes me nervous. And Jacksonville's hot right now. And I'm all about that momentum, and they are riding one hell of a momentum right now. And I got Jacksonville taking it. I think Trevor Lawrence has played a hell of a lot better, and I like to see that run game. But yeah, I'm rolling with Jacksonville on this one.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real good game, especially the way the Jags have been playing. And it's a tough one. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. That Buffalo defense has been playing better the last 4 or 5 weeks. Buffalo's looked like a different team the last 4 or 5 weeks. I think Allen's a little bit healthier than he was because he's been banged up. I think it's going to be a real good game. Jacksonville's been playing good. Trevor Lawrence has been playing the best he has. It's in Jacksonville, but I think Josh Allen's going to become Superman in the fourth quarter and win the game for the Bills. So I'm going to go with Buffalo in a close one.
I do think in that game for Buffalo, if they're going to win it, they've got to have Cook has got to have the game of his day, man. Like he really needs to go out there and establish that run game and not rely so heavily on Josh Allen to do that run game. Because I feel like that's always kind of been the knock on them, Chris. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like
everybody wants to say that. But if you look, James Cook has the most second half carries out of any running back in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really think he's part of that emergence.
What I'm saying is everybody says, "Oh, they rely on Josh Allen too much to run." Well, if you look, James Cook gets more carries than any other running back in the second.
Oh yeah,
in the second half of games. So, I don't think they rely on it as much as we think. But James Cook needs to have a big game. But yeah, James Cook, they feed him, and I think they'll continue to feed him.
Well, yeah, the 305 carries I believe he's had so far in the season. They definitely feed him.
Yeah, if Buffalo's going to win this game, and if they're going to go anywhere, the defense, like Jay said, defense has got to step up and play.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they got to play lights out, but they got to play decent. They got to play.
Well, the problem was their run defense, and their run defense has been a lot better since Milano came back.
Yeah, that's true. But one other thing is too,
back, and that's helped them.
I think one of the weaknesses for them also is the receiving core. I think the receiving core's got to step up. They got to get more productivity out of the receivers, which I think they're capable of. I don't know if they have a true number one, but somebody's got to step up a little bit. It's a tough pick for me, guys. I really want to take Buffalo. It's at Jacksonville. I'm going to ride with Chris and agree this, Allen's going to pull it out. Allen's got to look at it like this. Hey, there's no Mahomes. There's no Cincinnati's quarterback. I mean, most people consider me the best quarterback and left now. I know the guy from New England's done well, but in most cases, people are still going to, that's the name they think of when they think that conference is they're going to be thinking of Josh Allen. So I'm going to go with Buffalo. Next game up, guys, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. San Francisco at Philadelphia. Chris, who you got in this one?
This is a tough one too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
49ers have been hot, especially their offense. I mean, hell, their offense has been the hottest offense in the league up until that last game. They got beat by Seattle. Eagles have been a little up and down on offense, but their defense is just so damn good as well. Oh, man. I think it's going to be a good game. I hate to pick against them, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles with this game being in Philadelphia.
I'm going the same way. I think it's going to be a close game. Phil Gold.
I just think the
like
49ers missing so much on defense is finally going. I think not having Warner and Bosa on the defensive side, I think that's it's finally going to catch up to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Philadelphia too. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get. I feel like if we all say the Eagles, I feel like the 49ers are gonna win. And actually, I'd like to see the 49ers win because I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the Eagles at all. I mean, I think I hate the Patriots is probably the only thing I hate more than the Eagles. But with that being said, you're right. There are injuries on the defensive side for 49ers, but there's also inconsistencies on the offensive side for the Eagles. So it's like you got inconsistencies versus injuries in this. I'm rolling San Francisco. I think they played very good all season for the most part. Purdy's there. McCaffrey's going to have another big, huge day. I feel like, but Parasol, Jennings, they got what I think they still have what they need. So I'm gonna roll with 49ers on this one.
Guys, is it just me, or is this first round matchup some of the best first round matchups that we've had in a while?
Hell yeah!
Because I mean, almost every game. I mean, I know the Rams are a heavy favorite, but I think Green Bay, Chicago, there's no heavy favorite. I don't think there's a heavy favorite in Buffalo, Jacksonville. I don't think there's a heavy favorite San Francisco, Philadelphia. And the next two games we're going to talk about, I don't think there's a heavy favorite. I mean, don't get me, there may be teams 2, 3, 4 point favorites, but most of these games, anybody can win this game. And I think we all agree Carolina could possibly win their game. So, I mean, these are some really great matchups. Let's go to the next.
The biggest spread is the Rams at 10.5. None of the other games are more than the biggest spread besides that is 4.5, and that's the Eagles over the 49ers. Everything else is less than 4.5.
Yeah, very, very good matchups. Let's go to the next one. 8 p.m. Sunday, Chargers at New England. Jay, what are you thinking about that one?
As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to have to say I think New England is going to take this. I just think they're the more well-balanced team, even though I see now that Herbert is not on the injured list anymore. So I'm assuming, I guess, that injured hand he was been nursing for the most part of the season, I guess it must be good now because they don't even have a designation on him coming into this. So, but even with that being said, this New England team, man, they're just playing. Vrabel has that Travion Henderson. This dude is, and that was one guy I didn't say the other night when we were talking about players that impressed you. Travion Henderson is blowing the doors off, running the ball. Him and Ramondre. I mean, I think they had the stronger run game than what they have over there, and I think that their defense and, I mean, look, let's be honest. If he doesn't get it, he's going to be the runner-up to MVP and Drake May. So I just think they're a little bit better right now than where the Chargers are. So I'm gonna go with New England.
Chris, what do you think?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a real good game. But I like the Chargers here to pull off the upset. I think this is my big upset pick for I won't say big upset, but it's my upset pick for the wild card weekend. Patriots. What's the Patriots' weakness? If you had to pick a weakness, their pass rush. They don't have a great pass rush.
Yeah.
The Chargers are missing their best. They ain't had their best offensive lineman for most of the season and all, but they've been able to get by, and that would be their so-called maybe a little bit of a weakness. But I don't know if New England will be able to take advantage of that because they don't have the greatest pass rush. Omari and Hampton being healthy for the Chargers changes their running game a lot. With him and Vital both have been able to run the ball good since he's been back. Herbert's a little bit healthier. I think this is going to be Herbert's big playoff moment, and also I'm a big Jim Harbaugh fan, and I have a lot of trust in him. So yeah, I think Chargers are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a real good game, but I think Chargers are going to pull it off in the
end. Chris,
and that game's in New England too. That's going to be a hell of a.
Yeah. Am I correct in saying that the Chargers got a pretty good pass rush too, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm trying to make a pick here. It's tough because at New England, the weather, I'm wondering how the Chargers are going to handle the weather. You mentioned Jim Harbaugh. I like Jim Harbaugh. The running game, I think, is peaking at the right time with being health wise. So I think they're definitely going to try to run the football. New England's got to try to stop that. I think I'm going to ride with the Chargers in the upset too. I mean, I think I'm going to ride that too. Guys, let's go to our last one. Monday night, 8 p.m. Houston at Pittsburgh. Should be a good one. I like Houston's defense. Pittsburgh can be a little up and down. Pittsburgh, I think, is a little better at home. They're very good in Monday night games, but I'm going with Houston for the upset. Not a big upset, but I think an upset. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean this game is in Pittsburgh, and T.J. Watt will be roaming in that defense, so he'll be there. But I'm like you. I'm wrong with Houston, and only because of the fact that their defense is elite. I mean, they have a very good defense, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have a good enough team to get all the way to the Super Bowl. To be honest, I'm not saying they're going to get to the Super Bowl, but they have the team to get there, and they have DeMeco Ryans as a defensive presence on that defense. I mean, if you look at that defense at all three stages, there's a leader on that front seven, and in that middle, and in that secondary. I mean, between Stingley, Hunter, and Will Anderson, they have all the pieces there. And I know, you know, and when he was mic'd up, Aaron Rodgers said, "Hey, I'm a 44-year-old," but you know what? You're right. You're a 44 or 42-year-old guy out there running, but I don't think you can be athletic enough to really keep them into it. DK is there, so that's important to note. But I think Nico Collins could cancel out him. I mean, they all have their stars, but I'm gonna roll with Houston on that one.
Okay, and I think I know which way Chris is going, but what's your pick, Chris? What are you thinking?
I'm rolling with Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers at home on a Monday night, getting DK Metcalf back. TJ Watt be back for, I think, his second game now. So I think he'll play, and he played pretty good last game. I think he had a sack, an interception, and maybe a tackle for loss in his first game back. But I mean, now he'll have a little more trust in that lung and everything. So I think he'll, I think it's going to be a real good game. I think could come down to a field goal at the end. I really think it's going to be a real close game. But I'm going to roll with Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers on this one.
I think the key for Pittsburgh, if they want to win this game, they got to have patience. And what I mean by that is, I think they're going to get stifled in the running game as far as running, but they still got to be patient and get the ball to the running backs, whether it's receiving or whatever. I think if they can do that, get them in space, I think they can gain some yards. So I think they might struggle to run the football against Houston's defense, but I think they can get the ball to them. And if they're patient, I think Pittsburgh's got a good shot to win this game. Like I said, I think it's a toss-up, to be straight up honest. Right. I'm just giving Houston the slight edge because of their defense, which I think is a better defense than Pittsburgh. But I think Metcalf could be a wild card because, I mean, they ain't had them the last couple of games, and they find a way to still make the playoffs. Now they're going to have that deep threat with Metcalf, and that may help the running game some. So
one thing I want to mention now, Metcalf has been on my team all year in fantasy, so I've watched Metcalf the whole time. And the one thing I've noticed about Metcalf is there are times when he can be in that offense and do well, and there are times when he just disappears and he is not effective in that offense. So I'm curious as to which version of Metcalf is going to show up. And I got to imagine that Stingley is going to be covering him because I got to imagine they're going to put their best corner on him. So I'm really curious to see how many interceptions Aaron throws, if he does, obviously. But also one thing about Aaron Rodgers that makes me nervous about him is he's not exactly the fastest and mobile guy at 42 years of age. And I think that's kind of where C.J. Stroud has that. I think C.J. Stroud is a little bit more mobile than Aaron Rodgers is.
They're not paying
Aaron nothing against Aaron, but what's that?
They're not paying Aaron Rodgers to run the ball.
No, I'm not talking about running it. I mean, just
for his brain and his arm.
Well, for sure. For sure. But what brain are we getting? Are we getting the one that's at the ayahuasca? Or are we getting the one that's in the dark room?
One of the smartest quarterbacks there is up there getting a team running the right play.
Yeah. No doubt that Aaron Rodgers is an incredibly intelligent person.
I would imagine Houston's going to send. They're going to send some blitz packages. They're going to go after Rodgers. I mean, I think you got to.
Oh, yeah.
But so it'd be interesting to see how that offensive line holds up. I tell you what, man, it should be a great weekend of football. I'm looking forward to it. Starting tonight with the college game, and then going on to Sunday with the NFL, Saturday and Sunday with the NFL. So definitely looking forward to it. You guys got anything before we get out of here?
Just one super quick thing. It's more WNBA related. I haven't seen any movement at all. Have you guys seen any movement in terms of them getting closer and closer to getting the CBA thing squared away, so where they're going to start the season on time? Or do you think that the season is going to get delayed because of the CBA? Or do you even think we have a season?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't heard anything. Chris, what about you?
To be honest, I haven't heard anything, but I haven't been looking for it either. I forgot that they were even maybe potentially going to strike. So and I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem right there is nobody really cares.
Yeah, if they go on strike,
you know what I mean? Like it's something that's going on, and I forgot that there's a chance they might go on strike because it's just not. It's not something I watch all the time. Like I watched the Fever more the last couple of years because of Clark, but other than that, I don't watch much, and so I forgot that there was even a chance they might not have a season.
And that actually makes my point. The fact that, because Chris, I'll be honest with you. Look, the comments aren't here. I don't watch them either. Pops, I don't mean to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure you follow. I'm assuming you probably don't follow him as much either. I think Glenn is probably the only one who really follows him and Frankie, but
I follow the standings.
Right.
I watched a couple games this year. Watched a couple games. But that's about it. But I do follow. I look at the standings every day or every couple of days. But it'd be huge if they go on strike. It's going to kill the league.
And that's where I'm going. That's what I'm thinking. And based on what Chris is saying, like a lot of people just don't have the interest in the WNBA. They just got this big TV contract. They finally started getting some momentum coming their way, probably in visibility for the league, because it's going to be televised now and a lot better than what it had been in the past. But if you go on strike, nobody's going to see you still. So it's like all that momentum that you were trying to capture and maybe get the Gonzos or the Tonys or the Jay McLevins of the world to pay attention to it. You're probably going to lose it now because you're going to be on strike for a year.
If they go on strike, I think the league's over, and because the players are way up here with what they want, and what they want, the owners are never going to agree to. They think they should be getting paid the same amount as NBA players. Well, you got to generate the money that the NBA is generating if you want paid like that. Like there's no way the WNBA can pay these women 40 million a year like a lot of these NBA players are getting. They can't afford it because they're not bringing. They're losing money. They're not bringing in that kind of revenue. So like, yeah, I think if they go on strike, it's going to kill the league.
I love Joe. Joe's always got the best take. I'd rather watch a damn turtle race than the damn WNBA. Well, that's true.
Joe's in Italy watching turtle races. He ain't watching no damn WNBA. Yeah, guys, I think it'd be a huge mistake.
That's really all I had. Did you guys have anything else y'all wanted to say before we close out?
Yeah, well, hey, Jay, what was the SEC's record in bowl games and playoff games this year?
I try so hard to like you.
What was it, Chris?
2-8.
2-8. And I just want to say, Chris, we could have got off here into a great weekend. And anyway, for all of those out there that have a Chris Gonzalez in your life or a Frankie Cruz in your life, I hope you have better luck with your friendships than I do with mine. It's a work in progress.
Hey, you know what the crazy thing is? One of the wins that the SEC got was against the SEC team. So they only beat one team out of the SEC conference.
Chris, and not for naught, right? Because everything you're saying is absolutely spot on. But the one detail people always leave out is, yes, you guys got the advantage of the NIL, but you also got a hell of a lot of SEC coaching in that Big Ten. Just saying.
Yeah. They're not SEC
coaching. A lot of SEC. Oh, no. Now they're Big Ten. I'm glad you recognize it. I'm glad. See, that's how I know. Okay, I got you. They're Big Ten. But they have SEC.
Signetti ain't been in the SEC for like 15 years. You can't say he's an SEC coach.
But where did he start, though, Chris?
Well, okay, honestly, if you want to go there, Nick Saban started.
What the hell? Why not? Let's go there.
His coaching in the Big Ten with Michigan State. So guess what? all these Saban guys are Big Ten guys.
And on that note, if you've enjoyed today's content, Chris, I got to give it to you. I'm going to let you have that one. I lost the debate. Congratulations. Hey, listen. If you've enjoyed all the commentaries and stuff that we've put out here for you guys today, we certainly appreciate that. And Joe, we appreciate all the comments. And make sure you transfer that over to the YouTube and give us a subscribes on those Gonzo Sports Rooms as well as Elite Sports and Entertainment Network channels. Certainly would be tremendously appreciated. And we would catch you guys on Monday back on the afternoon show. And until then, I wish everybody a happy weekend, and may your relationships with your friends like Chris Gonzalez be ever fruitful.